Every engineer knows that all machines have some form of control system. It may just be a simple on-off switch or a highly sophisticated system. It just so happens that my first job as an engineer was working for a company making control systems for power plants. Maybe rather puny bits of engineering in comparison with the giant turbines that make the power, but totally critical. All these control systems work on the same principle. They have sensors which pick up information from the various bits of the machine, send that information to a central processing unit, which does some form of analysis, possibly a very simple calculation. If hot, turn off. If cold, turn on. Or it could be a very complex piece of analysis. It just so happens that I was an early pioneer of computers, having the good luck to spot that computers would completely change the way that engineering was carried out. Now, of course, we have computers of infinitely more power, which can be used to perform calculations of complexity far greater than the human mind can comprehend. In a modern power station, they will record a whole range of sensors and analyse the effects of change. For example, the length of time for a particular adjustment to take effect, so it could learn how to anticipate changes and make adjustments so smoothly and accurately, far better than any human. They call this artificial intelligence. It may seem a bit of a jump from talking about the pinnacle of computer science to digging the garden on a hot summer day, but there's a real link. One day I came in from the garden on a hot day after a real sweaty bit of digging and started scouring the kitchen to satisfy some inner craving. My body was telling me that a cup of tea, coffee, or even a beer would not do the job. It was only when I unearthed an old bag of mineral salts that my body told me that this is what it was looking for. Not a very spectacular or uncommon experience, but think about what my body was doing. Somehow, my body had worked out it was a bit low in potassium, or maybe sodium or magnesium, and it was telling me what I should drink. To someone who spent years playing around with sophisticated software, this creates the absolutely absurd idea that inside our body we have some supercomputer working out exactly what our bodies need. That sounded a silly idea until I learnt that our guts are made up of some 100 trillion cells, all capable of talking to each other. Now that certainly the basis for a supercomputer. If that were true, it would certainly challenge the idea that we should spend our lives calculating out how many calories and how many supplement tablets we should be eating. Instead, we should learn the art of listening to our supercomputer. We know we have two brains, one in our head, the other in our guts. But we also know that they are firmly connected, both through the vagus nerve and chemical signals. So maybe we should stop thinking of them as separate and say we have one supercomputer network. But how do we test the concept of having an internal supercomputer which is struggling away to ensure we eat the right sort of food? We can start by learning from the blue zones, where people have been fit and healthy to a ripe old age, doing little more than carry on with their traditional lives. People in the blue zones are all eating different sorts of food. We can rule out some magic plant that ensures a long and healthy life. But they all have one thing in common: they are eating plants, straight from the soil. Maybe different plants, but grown in soil with a high mineral and organic content, and with soil biology which passes through the plants and into our guts. Could a long and healthy life be as simple as eating fresh plants grown in real soil for the biology and minerals? How can we test this attractive idea? How can we grow plants so they improve our gut biology? How can we produce food on a commercial scale? And most important, how do we persuade people to eat this food? These ideas I will explore in the upcoming series of articles and videos. You can keep informed of new episodes by registering on www.gbiota.club.